This conference will now be recorded.
Fine. Let us start the session. Let me go and open the yesterday's class notepad. That is introduction to demo session. Let me go and open that introduction class. Let me go and open that class notes. Fine. Now see here, guys. Then in the previous class, that is introduction to Microsoft SQL Server, what we discussed here is we discussed about why people are calling the SQL Server as a database software, and we know that why people are calling it as an RDBMS software, and also we discussed why people are calling it as a back-end development software, and also we understand few more points who will use the SQL Server software, and also we understand who will hire the SQL Server developers. So along here we understand, guys, who will use the SQL Server software, and also we understand who will hire the SQL Server developers. And the next we understand what is meant by data, what is the definition of data we understand. Also we understand in which format we are going to have the data. And now we discussed about nowadays where the business organizers are storing their business data means in the database software systems. We know that there are different types of database software systems in the market. One is DBMS, second is RDBMS. We discussed about what is this DBMS softwares. We discussed about what is meant by RDBMS. And also we discussed about what is the main difference between the DBMS and RDBMS softwares. And then I'm listing here some of the RDBMS softwares in the market, guys. And then we discussed about what is meant by SQL, what is the definition of SQL, and then we know that who developed the SQL initially, IBM company. And then later we discussed about what is this Microsoft SQL Server, what is MS SQL Server, which company it is developed, and in which year it is developed. And also we know that SQL Server is what software means, backend development software. We discussed this point why people are calling the SQL Server as a backend development software. And then the SQL Server is not a single software. It is a combination of basic ANSI SQL and then T-SQL. We discussed some points related to the basic SQL, and then we discussed some points related to the T-SQL. So up to here discussed in the yesterday's class. And now in today's session, what we are going to discuss here is, let me go and keep here. In today's session, we are going to discuss about installation part. Today's session will discuss about what? Installation, guys. Now, what are the different types of softwares you need to go and install? What are the different types of softwares you need to go and install in your system in order to go and work with the SQL? First, we'll understand now what are the different types of softwares we need to understand. So, in order to go and work with the SQL, the first software you need to go and install here is SQL Server, and the second software you need to go and install in your system is SSMS window. And the second software is what? SSMS window. Now, what is this SSMS stands for means? What is this SSMS window stands for is? SSMS stands for SQL Server Management Studio. Management Studio. SSMS stands for what means? SSMS stands for SQL Server Management Studio. Now you understand what is this SSMS window means. If you want to connect with the SQL servers, what is this SSMS window means? If you want to go and connect to the SQL server, and if you want to work with the SQL server means, you need to have an external software, guys. What is that software we are using here? That is SSMS window. What is the use of this SSMS window means? This SSMS window is used to connect with the SQL servers. So let me go and keep that point here, guys. What is the use of this SSMS window is, SSMS window, SSMS window is used to go and connect to the SQL servers. Let me go and keep it in another way. To connect to the SQL servers, to connect to the SQL servers, we need to have what we need to have. We need to have the SSMS window software. So if you want to go and work with them, or if you want to go and connect to the SQL server, you need to have an SSMS window software, guys. What is the use of this SSMS window means? To connect with the SQL servers, we need to have the SSMS window software. So how this SSMS window software will look like, how to go and install it, you'll understand, guys. So for now, try to understand what are the two softwares you need to go and install in your systems in order to go and work with the SQL is. The first software you need to go and install is SQL Server. The second software you need to go and install is SSMS window. What is this SSMS window means? SSMS window is used to connect to the SQL servers. To connect with the SQL servers, we need to have the SSMS window software. Now, before going to discuss about how to go and install these two softwares in order to go and work with the SQL server, first of all, let me go and discuss about the block diagram of SQL, guys. Without knowing the block diagram of SQL, if you directly go and install these two softwares, it is not that much easy to understand, guys. There is some lot of navigation will be there. So in order to go and understand these two softwares, how to go and install, first of all, you need to have some knowledge on what block diagram or an architecture of SQL Server. So let me go and open the block diagram of SQL Server. Let me explain you what is the block diagram of SQL Server, and then later we'll discuss about how to go and install these two softwares. Now let me go and open the block diagram of SQL Server, guys. Now see, this is the block diagram for SQL Server. This is the block diagram for SQL Server. Online people, please be on mute. Now see here, guys. This is what the block diagram for Microsoft SQL Server. Now in this, as a SQL developer, as a SQL developer, what we need to do means, the first thing you need to do as a SQL developer is, the first thing, we need to go and create the server names, guys. As a SQL developer, first of all, you need to go and create what? We need to go and create the server names, or we'll call it as instance memories. Now, what is this server name means, or what is this server name, or what is this instance memories? Server name is nothing but, server name is just like a memory allocation, guys. Server name is just like what? If you want to store the data in the SQL, you need to allocate some memory. So by using what you can go and allocate the memory means by creating the server names. So server name is just like a memory allocation where we are going to store some business data. Now see, when we are going to create the server names, that means when we are going to allocate this memory means we are going to create the server names at the time of installation, guys. When we are going to create the server names at the time of installation. So at the time of installing the SQL server, at that time you need to go and create the server name. Now what is the server name I am going to create for this batch? For this batch I am going to create one separate server, guys, dedicated server for this batch. So what is the server name I am going to create for this batch is, I am going to create the server called SQL Server 8 p.m. I am going to create the server called, what is the server name? SQL Server 8 p.m. is the server name I am going to create. So when I am going to create this server name means I'm going to create this server name at the time of installation. So keep in mind what is this server name or an instance memory means. Server name or an instance memory, it is just like a memory allocation where we are going to store some data. Now when I am going to create this server names means at the time of installation we are going to create the server name. Now what is the server I am going to create for this batch at the time of installation is, I'm going to create one server. The server name is SQL Server 8 p.m. is the server name I'm going to create. Now see, once if you install the SQL Server in your system, how many servers you can create like this? This is the one of the server I'm creating. Now how many servers you can go and create means, you can go and create max 50 servers, guys. Once if you install the SQL Server in your system, how many servers you can go and create means 50 servers you can go and create. So this is what is meant by server names or an instance memory. Keep in mind, server name is just like a memory allocation where we are going to store some business data. And when we are going to create the server names means at the time of installation, I'm going to create the server names. I will show you guys at the time of installation how to go and create the server names. I will show you. Now what is the server name I'm going to create? What is the server I'm going to create for this batch is, for this batch I'm going to create one server called SQL Server 8 p.m. SQL Server 8 p.m. So once after creating the server name, let us say what is the server name I'm going to create at the time of installation. I said that at the time of installation I'm going to create one server. What is the server name I'm going to create for this batch? I'm going to create a server called SQL Server 8 p.m. Now once after creating the servers, this is my first step, guys. What is your first step? Create the servers. So once after creating servers at the time of installation, the second step is what means? Step 2 is you need to go and connect to the servers. Step 2 is what? You need to go and connect to the servers. I said that how many servers you can go and create. Max you can go and create the 50 servers. Among these 50 servers, to which server I want to connect? So the second step is you need to go and connect to the servers. Among these 50 servers, to which server I want to connect? I want to connect to the server called SQL Server 8 p.m. So the second step is what? Connecting to the servers. Now once after connecting to servers, now what is my third step is, once after connecting to the servers, within the servers, within the servers, you need to go and create the databases like this. So within the servers, you need to go and create what? Databases. So the third step here is within the servers, we need to go and create some databases, guys. Like database one. Now see how many database I'm creating here. Database one, database two, database three. So what is my third step here is, third step is you need to go and create the multiple databases like this. Where we are going to create the databases? We are going to create the databases under the servers. Now see, under single server, how many databases you can create like this means? Max you can go and create 3 to 767 databases. Under the servers, I said that you need to go and create what? Databases. Now how many databases you can go and create under single server is, you can go and create max 3 to 767 databases you can go and create. Now once after creating the multiple databases, the next step here is, what's my fourth step is? What's my fourth step is, among these three databases I'm having the three databases here, guys. Database one, database two, and database three. Among these three databases, we need to go and connect to any one of the database. We need to go and connect to any one of the database. Now see, I'm connecting to the database called DB2. If you see here, I'm connecting to one of the database. What is the database I'm connecting? DB2. The third step is what means? Connecting to the databases. Sorry, fourth step. What's the fourth step is? Connecting to the databases. Now see, among these three databases, I'm connecting to the database called DB2. Now once after connecting to the databases, what the database will contains? Okay, I'm connecting to the database called DB2. Now what the database will contains? Now see, each database will contains database objects. Try to understand, guys. What the database will contains means, each database will contains the database object. Now what is this database objects? Database objects is nothing but creating the tables. So table is nothing but what? Database object. Where we will go and create the tables in the SQL means you will go and create the tables in the databases. So not only tables, guys, creating the views, creating the synonyms, creating the indexes, procedures, functions, triggers, all these are comes under the database objects only. For now, you can understand what is the example. For now, you can understand what is the best example for the database object means tables. So what is the database object means tables. So in the SQL, where you can go and create the tables means we are going to create the tables within the databases. So this is what the complete block diagram or an architecture of Microsoft SQL Server is. Totally how many steps is there? 4 steps. Let me go and explain again at a high level. First step is what? Creating the server names. Now when you need to go and create the server names, I said that you need to go and create the server names at the time of installation. Now at the time of installation, I want to create one separate server for this batch. Now what is the server name I'm going to create for this batch? I'm going to create one server called SQL Server 8 p.m. What is server name? SQL Server 8 p.m. is a server name. This is my first step. Once after creating servers at the time of installation, second step is what? Go and connect to the servers case. Now once after connecting to the server, to which server I want to connect? SQL Server 8 p.m. Now once after connecting to servers, next you need to go and do what? Within the servers, you need to go and create the multiple databases like this. Database 1, database 2, database 3 like this. Now, how many databases you can go and create under the server means under single server you can go and create max 3 to 767 databases. Now, once after creating the multiple databases, the next step is among these three databases, you need to go and connect to any one of the database. Now, I'm connecting to the database called DB2. Now, see, I'm connecting to which database means database 2. Now, once after connecting to the databases, what the database will contains? Each database will contains the database objects. What is meant by database objects? Database objects like tables. So where we will create the tables in the SQL means we are going to create the tables within the databases. Next, not only creating the tables guys, database objects is nothing but what? Creating the tables, views, synonyms, indexes, procedures, functions, triggers, all these will comes under where? Database objects only. You are not able to understand all these things now. For now, you can understand what's the best example for the database object is tables. So database where we will go and create the tables means we are going to create the tables within the databases. Now see, whatever I'm explaining here, everything I will show you practically guys. Practical I will show you how to create the server name at the time of installation. I will show you now. Once after create a server, how to connect to the servers I will show you. Once after connecting the servers, how to create the databases I will show you now. Once after creating these databases, I will show you how to go and connect to any one of the database. Now, once after connecting to the databases, how to go and create a table, how to go and create a table within the databases also we discuss. Whatever I am keeping here, critically in this block diagram, everything I will show you now practically. Guys. Now, we know that what is the architecture of Microsoft SQL Server or a block diagram. Now, let me go and install those two softwares. Guys. Now, let me go for the installation part. Let me go for the installation part. Now, in this installation, I will discuss about how to go and install the SQL Server at the time of installation. But before that, you need to understand what is this SSMS window, guys. It is important. What is this SSMS window? Now see, whenever you open the SQL Server, whenever you open the SQL Server, you will get one welcome window, guys. Whenever if you go and open the SQL, you will get one welcome window. Now, what is that welcome window means? Let me go and show you. Let me go and open one Word document. Now see, whenever if you go and open the SQL, you will get one welcome window, guys. Now, this type of window you will go to get. This is the welcome window you are going to get whenever you go and open the SQL. Now, what is this window means? This window we will call it as an SSMS window. This window we'll call it as what? We'll call it as an SSMS window, or we can go call it as a connect to server, or you can call it as what? Connect to server. Why I'm calling it as connect to server? I said that what is the use of this SSMS window software means? I said that it is used to connect to the servers. So you can go and call it as an SSMS window, or you can go and call it as a connect to servers. Now in this welcome window, there are different parameters you need to go and pass. First, you need to understand what is this server type. You need to understand what is the server name, what is this authentications, what is this username and password. Now under the server type, there are different types of server types will be there. Which server type you need to go and select as a SQL developer. And server name, here you need to pass the server name to which server you want to connect. I want to connect to the server called SQL Server 8 p.m. Here you need to go and pass the server name to which server you want to connect. And next, authentications. There are two types of authentications. What is meant by authentication? What are the different types of authentications is there? Next, how to go and create the usernames and passwords. So you need to have some strong knowledge on this podcast, on this SSMS window. From this SSMS window, there are some cases where you need to get the questions in the interviews also. There are some cases where you can go and get 2 to 3 questions in the interviews. So let me go and discuss about what is this SSMS window. Now in this SSMS window, what are the different parameters you need to go and discuss? The first one is what? Server type. The second one is what? Server name. Third one is what? Authentications. Third one is what? Authentications. Fourth one is what? Username. And next, fifth one is what? Password. Fifth one is what? Password. These are the different parameters you need to go and pass this under this SSMS window. Now let me go and discuss one by one here, guys. First let me go and discuss about what? Server type. Now see, what is this server type? Under this server type, there are different types of server types will be there, guys. Now let me go and list out what are the different types of server types will be there under this. Under this, there are different types of server types will be there. What are the different types of server types? Let me go and list out all those here. The first one is database engine. The first one is what? Database engine. Second one is what? Analysis service. Third one is what? Integration service. And next, fourth one is what? Reporting service. Next, fifth one is what? Azure SSIS. Azure SSIS integration runtime. Azure SSIS integration runtime. These are the different types of server types are available. Now, among all these server type, as a SQL developer, what is the server type you need to go and select? These are the different types of server types will be there. Among all this, as a SQL developer, what is the server type you need to go and select? Now try to understand, guys. As a SQL developer, you need to go and select the server type as database engine. So let me go and keep that point here, guys. To connect it to the SQL server, to connect to the SQL server, we need to select the server type as what is server type? We need to go and select, guys. We need to select the server type as database engine. So as a SQL developer, what is the server type you need to go and select? Means you need to go and select the server type as what? Database engine. Why? Because this database engine will works as a core component. This works as a core component to the Microsoft SQL Server, guys. So why we need to go and select this database engine as a server type? Means because this database engine will works as a core component to the Microsoft SQL Server. So who will take care of the operations you are performing in the SQL Server? Means everything will be taken care by whom? Database engine will take care of it. So as a SQL developer, you need to go and select the server type as what? Means you need to go and select the server type as database engine. And next, remaining things. What is this analysis service? Means analysis service is nothing but SSAS. Next, integration service is nothing but SSIS. Next, reporting service is nothing but SSRS. Now see, all these three will comes under the MSBI tools, guys. All these three will comes under where? All these three will comes under the MSBI tools. MSBI means Microsoft Business Intelligence. So it is completely different, guys. It is for to analyze the business data. But our agenda here is for what? We need to go and store the business data. Our SQL developer role is what? We need to go and store the business data. This MSBI is for what? To analyze the business data. It is completely different. These three will come under the MSBI tools. And next, there is one more, Azure SSIS integration runtime. Now, what is this Azure SSIS integration runtime means? There is one cloud-based technology called Azure, guys. From Microsoft itself, from the Microsoft company, there is one cloud-based technology called Azure. I think most of you people listen these words, Azure, cloud-based technology. Now, whenever if you want to connect to the Azure from the SQL server, from the SQL server, if you want to go and connect to the Azure means, then you need to go and select the server type as Azure SSIS integration runtime. So these are the different types of server types are available. Don't worry, and no need to have the knowledge on these remaining four, guys. No need. Why? Because it doesn't comes under anywhere under the SQL Server developer role. So as a SQL developer, you need to go and select the server type as what? Database engine. Why? Because this database engine will works as a core component to the Microsoft SQL Server. So to connect with the SQL servers, you need to go and select the server type as what? Database engine. So the
Hello,
first thing
sir.
we discuss here, yes,
Hello.
yes,
Yes, sir. Sorry to interrupt you. Fifth line is Azure. Is Azure or is Azure?
I'll sorry if you have any questions, please make a note of them. I will give enough time for you to take the questions. So please make a note of the questions. Don't disturb the class in the middle. I will give some time at the end. Please make a note of them. I'll discuss. Now see, first thing we discuss here is server type. So we know that which server type you need to go and select as a SQL developer. That is database engine. Next you need to go and discuss about what? Server name. Now what is the server name? What is the server name? Just now we discussed, just 5 minutes back we discussed. What is meant by server name? Just 5 minutes back we discussed. What is meant by the server name? Server name is just like a memory allocation where we are going to store your business data. Let me go and keep that point here, guys. What is the server name means? Just copy from here. What is the server name is? As I said that it is a memory allocation where we are going to store some business data. Now see, it is a memory allocation where we will create the databases and stores the database objects like tables. If you go to this, where we will create the databases and where we will create the database objects like tables means databases and the database objects we are going to create under where? Server names. So that's why I'm keeping here server is just like a memory allocation where we'll create some databases and store the database objects like tables. So already we know that what is meant by server names. Now I said that we are going to create the server names at the time of installation, guys. I said that when we are going to create the server names at the time of installation, I will show you how to create it. But at the time of installation, you can go and create the server names in two different ways. Let me go and keep here different ways. Different ways to create the server names. What are the different ways we are having to create the server name means? There are two ways you can go and create the servers. One is by using the default instance. One is by using the default instance. And second is by using the named instance. One is by using the default instance. Second one is by using what? Named instance. Now see, whenever you are trying to install the SQL Server, by default, SQL Server itself will create one server name, guys. By using what it will create means with the help of default instance. At the time of installation, SQL Server itself will create one server name by using this default instance. So what is the default server name it is going to create means? The default server name is MS SQL Server. So see, I said that default instance. If you go to this architecture, server name is also called as what? Instance memory. So you can call it as instance also. So there is one default instance. With the help of the default instance, SQL Server by default, it will go and create one server name. What is the default server name it will create? MS SQL Server. I don't want to go with this default servers. I want to create my own servers, guys. I want to create my own server. What is the server I want to create for this batch is I want to create the server called SQL Server 8 p.m. So if you want to create your own server names, then go and click on what? Named instance. With the help of the named instance, you can go and create, with the help of the named instance, you can go and create your own server names. What server name I want to create for this batch? SQL Server 8 p.m. is the server name I'm going to create. So there are two ways you can go and create the server's case. One is by using the default instance. Second is by using the named instance. If you go with the default instance, SQL by default will create one server, that is Microsoft SQL Server. If you want to create your own server names, then go and click on what? Named instance. When I click on this named instance, now SQL Server will allows us to create our own server names. So this is a server I'm going to create. I will show you guys. I will show you these two options and I will show you how to create this server. Now see, I'm creating one server here. What is that server? SQL Server 8 p.m. Now once after creating the servers, the next step is what? Once after creating the servers, the next step is what? Connecting to the servers. Now how to connect to the servers? Let me keep here. There are different ways to connect to the servers, guys. Let me go and keep here different ways to connect to the SQL servers. Or let me keep here different ways to connect to the servers. Now what are the different ways we are having to connect to the servers means? The first one is we'll call it as local servers, and second type of servers we'll call it as global servers. Now what is this local server and what is this global servers? Try to understand, guys. What is this local servers and what is this global servers? Meanwhile, online people, please drop your emails in the chat box. Please drop your email IDs. Then only I'm able to share today's class video with you. Some of the people are not still dropped your email IDs. Please share your email IDs. Now see, what is this local and what is global servers? Now try to understand, guys. What is this local servers means? Local servers is nothing but both the system and the server is at one place. If both the system and the server is at one place, then connecting to those servers will call it as local servers, guys. Let me give an example. Let us say this is my system, guys. What's my system name is? Let's say my system name is Winky system. Now in my system itself, I'm installing the SQL server. What is the server name? The server name is SQL Server 8 p.m. This is the server. Now see, in my own system itself, I'm installing the SQL Server, and what is the server name I'm creating here is SQL Server 8 p.m. Now both system and the server is at one place. If you have in your own systems, if you have the servers, then if you are connecting to those servers means those servers will call it as local servers. Both system and server is at one place. Next, what is this global servers? Global servers is nothing but the system is at one place. The system is at one place and the server is at another place. The system is at one place and the server is at one place. Now see, in this global servers, system is there in one place and the server will be located in another place. Let me give one scenario. Let's say this is my system. My system name is Winky system. Is my system. Where my system is located means, let's say my system is located in the Hyderabad location. Now there is one more system is there. Let us say the system name is Sunil. This is the Sunil system. Now where the Sunil system is located means it is in the Bangalore location. Let's say it is there in which location? Bangalore. Now SQL server is then which system means. Now the server is there in the Sunil system, guys. Now see, now where the server is located? Now the server is there in the Sunil system. Now see, what's my requirement here is from my system, which is there in the Hyderabad location, I want to connect to the server. I want to connect to the server which is there in the Bangalore location in Sunil system. Now the from my system, I want to connect to the server which is there in the some other systems. So now the server is not there in my system. Server is there in which system? Sunil system. Now I need to go and connect to the server and I need to go and work with it. Now this type of connections to the servers will call it as global servers. Now see, in the real-time scenarios, when we go and join any organization, the companies will provide you one laptop, one system they will provide you. Now whatever the system the companies are providing to you, do you think that the server is in your whatever the company is providing to you laptop, in that laptop do you have the servers? Do you have the SQL server? This server is there? No. The companies are providing just one laptop to you. In that laptop, you don't have the servers, you don't have the data. Server and data is there in which system? Client system. So let us say I am working for the US based client. I am working for one of the company or one of the project for US project. Now where the server and the data is located means it is there in the US location. Now from India, from Hyderabad, whatever the company is providing the laptop, from that laptop I want to connect to the client system which is there in the US location. So in the real time scenarios, whatever the companies are providing to you laptop, you don't have the data in that laptop, you don't have the server in that laptop. Where the server is located means the server is located in the client system. So those type of connections will called as what means global servers. So this is what is meant by server name, how to go and create the servers, different ways to go and create the servers, and next different ways to go and connect to the servers, how to connect to the servers. One is local server, second is what, global servers. And next we need to go and discuss here is authentications. Now what is meant by this authentications, guys? Now see, authentications is nothing but, try to understand, if you want to connect to the server as a SQL developer, if you want to connect to the server, you need to have some permissions. So you need to pass the username and password, user ID and password. Now whatever the usernames and passwords you are entering, those usernames and passwords is valid or not, whether it is correct or not, who will take care of it, who will check whatever the user ID and password you are entering, whether it is correct or not means it will be taken care by the authentications guys. What the authentications will do means, authentications will check or activate the credentials of the users. Let me go and copy from here. What the authentications will do here is, authentication is used to activate or check the credentials of the users like user ID and password. Whatever the user ID and password you are entering, whether those user ID and password is correct or not, who will take care of means authentications will take care of it. Now we know that what is meant by authentications guys. Now again, under this there are two types of authentications are available. First one is Windows authentication, Windows authentication, and second one is SQL Server authentication. See, these points are, every point is important guys. The server type is important, the server name is important, different ways to create the servers is important, authentication is important. Every point I'm discussing here is most important. Why? Because these are the basic things as a SQL developer you need to go and understand. In the interviews also, no doubt you will get minimum 2 to 3 questions in the interviews guys. Now see, what is this Windows authentication, what is this SQL Server authentication? Now try to understand, whenever if you connect to the servers, whenever if you connect to the servers using Windows authentication, then what is your role is, your role is admin guys. You are the admin, that means you are the boss, that means you are the boss. You can go and perform whatever the operations you want to do, you don't need to go and take the permissions from anyone. So if you are connecting to the servers using Windows authentication, your role is admin role, that means you are the boss, you no need to take the permissions from anyone. But if you go and connect to the same servers using SQL Server authentication, then what is your role means, your role is just an user, your role is just, you are just an user. User means, let us say he is an employee. Now the employee wants to do any work in the company means he need to get the permissions from whom, from his boss. So if you are connecting to the servers using SQL Server authentication, then your role is just an user. You can connect to the server, you are not able to do anything. If you want to do anything, then you need to take the permissions from whom, admin. Admin will provide you the permissions to the users. So these are the two types of authentications we are having. What is this Windows authentication and what is this SQL Server authentication? Now among these two authentications, what is the default authentication is, the default authentication is Windows authentication guys. Among these two, what is the default authentication? The default authentication is what? Windows authentication. By default, what is the authentication the SQL will select means Windows authentication. And next, if you want to connect to the SQL Server authentication means there is one option called mixed. there is an option called mixed. If you go and select this mixed, then you are able to connect to the servers using both Windows authentication. You are able to connect to the servers using both Windows authentication and also the SQL Server authentication and also SQL Server authentication. See here guys, if you select Windows authentication, your role is admin. This is the default authentication. If you want to connect to the SQL servers using SQL Server authentication means you need to go and select what? Mixed mode. You need to go and select what? Mixed. If you go and select mixed, you can connect to the servers using both Windows and also the SQL Server authentication. I will show you these two options also. At the time of installation, I will show you all these things, guys, whatever I'm keeping here. So this is about what is meant by authentication, what the authentications will do, what are the two types of authentications we are having. Among these two, what is the default authentication? So default is Windows. If you want to connect to the SQL Server authentication, you need to go and select what? Mixed. So this is what the authentications. And next, finally, you need to go and discuss about what? Username and password. Now, what is this username and password? How to go and create this usernames and passwords means. Now try to understand, guys. Whenever if you are connecting to the server, whenever if you are connecting to the servers using Windows authentication, then what is the default username and what is the default password is? The default the default username is your system name. The default password is your system password. Let us say what is my system name is. Let's say my system name is Venki. I'm keeping my system name as Venki. And what is the default password? Whatever the password my system is having, it will take it as default password. So whenever if you are connecting to the SQL server, SQL servers using Windows authentication, what is the default username and password? Your system name and your system password will take it as default username and passwords. If you want to create your own passwords means, if you want to create your own passwords means, go and select what? Mixed mode. When I select the mixed mode, I am able to go and create my own passwords. But in the real time scenarios, who will go and create the usernames and passwords means admin. There is one person, admin, that person will go and create the usernames and passwords. So with the help of usernames and passwords, the users, that means employees are going to connect to what? Servers. So this is what the username and password is. What is the default username and password means? Your system name and our system password. So this is about what is this server, this SSMS window. Guys. Under this SSMS window, we discussed all this stuff. Now see, in this SSMS window, first thing, server type. What is the server type you need to go and select as a SQL Server developer? What is server type? Database engine. Next, server name. Here you need to go and pass the server name to which server you want to connect. I want to connect to the server called SQL Server 8 p.m. I want to connect to the server called SQL Server 8 p.m. Here you need to go and pass the server name to which server you want to connect. And authentication. By default, go with the Windows authentication, guys. Go with what type of authentication? Windows. When I go with the Windows authentication, then what is the default username? My system name. What's the default password? My system password. So once after passing all this information, you'll have one button here, connect button. If I go and click on this connect button, you are going to connect to the server. To which server? SQL Server 8 p.m. Now, let me go and show you how to go and install those two softwares, and let me go and show you how to go and connect it to the SQL servers. Now, let me go and discuss about how to go and install these two softwares. One of the software I need to go and install is SQL Server. The second software I need to go and install is SSMS window. So in order to go and install this, go to the any one of the web browser. First, let me go and show you how to go and install the SQL Server software, guys. So in order to go and install it, first let me download it. Go to the Google, go to any one of the web browser and type here SQL Server download. Click on this link, SQL Server download. Now when I click on the SQL Server download, you can download the SQL Server from the Microsoft official website, guys. Download it from the Microsoft. So just go and click on this link, SQL Server download Microsoft. Just click on this link. When I click on this link, now it opens one another window. So just scroll down. Scroll down. Now here you are able to see an option called download. Download the developer version, guys, not the express version. Click on this download option. Go and click on this download. When I click on this download, now it is going to download the SQL Server software in our system, guys. Now see, on the top it is downloaded. The top it is downloaded. Once it is downloaded, go to the downloads folder in your system. Go to the downloads folder in your system. So in the downloads folder, you are able to see this option. There is an option called SQL 2022 SSEI dev. Now before going to install it, already I'm having the SSMS Windows software in my system. So just let me show you how to go and remove it, guys. I want to remove this. Why? Because it is already installed. Let me go and uninstall first. Go to the control panel. Let me uninstall it. Just click on uninstall. Click on yes button. Click on uninstall. Let it uninstall. Already SSMS window is there in my system. Just I want to uninstall it. I want to install it again. Just because of I want to show it to you in the live. So let me uninstall it. Now see, it is uninstalled. Completed. Just close it. Now see, just go to the downloads folder in your system. Go to the downloads folder. In the downloads folder, just now I downloaded one software. What is that? SQL 2022 SSEI dev. Now just right click on it. Go to this, right click on it and click on run as administrator. When I click on the run as administrator, it is asking some permissions. Just go and click on the S button, guys. Click on the S button. Now it will opens one separate window. It will go and open one separate window. Now in this, go and click on the custom. Go and select what? Custom. Select the custom. Don't do any changes here. Directly go and click on what? Install. Directly go and click on what? Install. Now once it is click on installed, it is going to open another window. It's going to open another window. Let it open. Now see, you'll get this another window, guys. In this window, on the top left side, you will have an option called installation. Go and click on this installation. Now once after clicking on this installation, in the right side, go and click on the first link. Just go and click on it. Go and click on it. When I click on it, it is going to open another window. Now it is going to open another window. Let it open. Let it open. Now see here, guys. This is the another window you will get. In this, if you want to get any updates from the Microsoft, check this box. Otherwise, uncheck it. So I'm not going to check this box. Just directly go and click on what? Next button. Click on the next button in the bottom. Now once if I click on the next button, it is going to set up some files, guys. Now see, here you will get one message, some message like this: past, 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 and you'll get one warning message, that is Windows firewall warning. Don't worry about it. Just ignore. Just ignore, and directly go and click on what? Next button. Just click on the next button. Now see, already I'm having one server in my system, case. What is the server already I'm having here is SQL Server 7am. This is the server already I'm having in my system. So I want to create another one more server. So just go and click on what? Prefer a new installation. Select this icon and click on the next button. Just go and click on what? Next. Now don't do any changes here. Here also don't do any changes. Just go and click on the next button. Now see, Go and check this box, accepting the licensing terms and conditions. Check this box and then go and click on the next button. Just click on the next button. Now see here, most of the people are doing the mistake here only. Uncheck this one. Don't forget to uncheck it. Uncheck this one. Azure extensions. Uncheck and then go and click on the next button. Go and click on what? Next. Now I said that as a SQL Server developer, what is the server type you need to go and select? As a SQL Server developer, what is server type you need to go and select? Database engine services. So let me go and select the database engine services here. Instance. What is the instance? Database engine services. So select the database engine services here. Remaining, don't select anything. Just go and click on the next button. Go and click on the next. Now see here guys, I said that there are different ways to go and create the server names. What are the two ways you can go and create the server names? One is by using the default instance, second is by using the named instance. Now see, by default, with the help of this default instance, SQL Server is creating one server name. What is that server name? MS SQL Server. I don't want to go with this default servers. I want to create a separate server for this batch. So if you want to go and create a separate server, then go and click on what? Named instance. When I click on the named instance, now see, it will allow us to enter the instance name, that is server name. Let me enter the server name as SQL Server 8 p.m. What is the server name I'm entering here? SQL Server 8 p.m. Once after entering the server name, just go and click on the next button. Go and click on what? Next. Once after clicking on the next button, it will open another one, another UI. Now don't do any changes here. Don't do any changes. Just go and click on the next button. Click on the next. Now see, I said that authentications case. Authentications. What is meant by authentications? It is used to check or activate the credentials of the users. Now what are the types of authentications? Windows and SQL Server. Now what is the default authentication? Windows authentication. Now see, under the authentications by default is selecting what? Windows authentication. So when I go with the Windows authentication, then what is the default username and password? Your system name and your system password will take it as default username and passwords. If you want to create your own password means, go and click on what? Mixed. You can see there is an option called mixed. When I click on the mixed, you are able to connect to the servers using SQL Server authentication and also the Windows authentication. For now, I don't go with the mixed mode. I want to go with what? Windows. Select the authentication type as Windows and then go and click on this add current user guys. Click on the add current user. When I click on this add current user, it is going to show your system name here guys. Wait for some time until it will display the system name. This is my system name. What is my system name is ABT. AB trainings is my system name. Once after showing the system name here, now go and click on what? Next button. Go and click on the next button. Now see, all the installation is set up completed. Now just go and click on what? Install. When I click on the install, now I am going to install one new server guys. I'm going to install the SQL Server and I'm going to create one server name. What is server I'm creating here now? SQL Server 8 p.m. Now it is going to start installing process guys. It will take some time. If your system performance is good, it will take 2 to 3 minutes time. If your system performance is not good, it will take 5 to 10 minutes time also. Don't click on the cancel button. Wait for some time. Now meanwhile, what I can do here is we need to go and install one more software, right? What is the one more software we need to go and install? SSMS. Let me go and download the SSMS software and then let me show you how to go and install it. Let me go to the again Google, go to the new tab and type here SSMS download. Click on this SSMS download. When I click on it, now download it from the Microsoft website guys. Click on this download SQL Server Management Studio. When I click on it, now it is going to open another window. Now scroll down here. Scroll down. Here you are able to see something called free download SQL Server Management Studio. Just click on it. When I click on it, it is going to start downloading guys. Now see on the top it is started downloading. Let it download. Meanwhile, let me go and check whether it is complete or not. No, still it is not completed. First, let it install. First, we need to go and install the SQL Server. Once after installation, you need to go and install the SSMS. It will take some time. Just wait for some time. Almost done. Just wait for a couple of minutes. Fine. It is completed. The first software we installed is what? SQL Server. Now see, you'll get one message like this. Database engine services succeeded. Installation is successful. Once if you get this message, go and click on the close button, guys. Now I installed one software. That is what? That is SQL Server. The one more software I need to go and install what? SSMS. Already I started downloading it. Let me check whether it is downloaded or not. Yes, it is downloaded. Now go to the downloads folder in your system. Go to the downloads folder. In the downloads folder, you will see an option here that is SSMS setup ENU. SSMS setup ENU. Just go to this, right click and click on run as administrator. Click on the run as administrator. When I click on the run as administrator, it will ask some permissions. Just go and click on the S button. Go and click on the S button. Now it is going to open one window, one new window. Now see, you will get this window, guys. Now directly go and click on what? Install. Installing the SSMS window is easy. So just go and click on install. When I click on install, now it is started installing. What I'm installing here now? Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. That is SSMS window. Let it install. One software installation. We're done with two softwares installation. One software installation, I will show you how to go and open the SQL Server. Guys. Let it install. Both these two softwares will take some time in order to go and install it. Almost done. Fine. Now see, you'll get this message. Setup completed. All specified components has been installed successfully. Once after getting this message, just close it. Click on the close button. Now see, I installed the two softwares. What are the two softwares I installed? One is SQL Server and second one is SSMS window. Now once after installation of these two softwares, I need to go and open it. Now how to go and open the SQL? Go to the search bar in your system. Go to the search bar in your system and type here SSMS. and type here what? SSMS. When I type SSMS, you will find something here called SQL Server Management Studio. Just go and click on it. Type here SSMS and click on it. SQL Server Management Studio. Just go and click on it. Now when I click on it, now I'm going to open the SQL Server Management Studio, guys. Now see, whenever you open the SQL Server, I said that you will get one welcome window. What is that welcome window? Connect it to server or an SSMS window. Now see, this is the welcome window you will get. Now this window will call it as a connect to server or an SSMS window. Now in this, we need to pass the different parameters. First one, you need to go and pass what? Server type. I said that there are different types of server types will be there. Among all this, what is the server type? You need to go and select database engine services. Next, server name. Here you need to go and pass the server name to which server you want to connect. Now by default you are not able to see anything here, so just you need to go and do what? Go and click on this drop down. Go and click on this drop down and you will see something called browse for more. Click on this browse for more. Click on the browse for more and you will get one more pop-up window. Now go to the database engine, expand it. Now you are able to see the server name here. Already I'm having one server in my system, that is SQL Server 7 a.m. I'm going to create one more server here. Just now I created one server. What is that server? SQL Server 8 p.m. Select the server and click on the OK button, guys. Now when I click on OK button, now you are able to see the server name here, to which server you want to connect. And then authentications. I said that there are two types of authentications. One is Windows, second one is SQL Server authentication. Better to go with what? Windows. When I go with the Windows authentication, what is the default username? My system name. What's my system name? ABT. And what is the default password? My system password. Now once after passing all these parameters, server type, server name, authentication, username and password, just go and click on what? Connect. When I click on the connect button, I'm going to connect to the server. To which server? SQL Server 8 p.m. If you go to the architecture, once after creating the server, the second step is what? Connecting to the servers. Now how to connect to the servers means, this is the scenario. Here you need to go and pass the server name to which server you want to connect. Once after passing the parameters, just go and click on the connect button, guys. When I click on the connect button, now see in the left side, in the top you are able to see the server name, to which server you are connected. This is the server name. Now this server is located in which system? This is the system name. In this system, the server is located. Now once after connecting to the servers, the next thing what? The next thing is what? You need to go and create the databases. Now how to go and create the databases under the SQL Server 8 p.m. Under this server, I want to create some databases. Now how to go and create the databases? Let me show you how to go and create the databases with the help of GUI options in today's session, guys. As this is the first class, let me show you with the help of GUI. Anyway, I will show you the same thing in the coming classes by writing some queries. We'll discuss in the coming classes. As it is the first class, let me show you how to go and create the databases with the help of GUI options. Now to create the databases, on the top left side, there is something called databases. Go and click on it. Go and select the databases. Right click on it. When I right click on it, you are able to see something called new database. Go and click on the new database. When I click on it, it opens another window. Now it is asking us to pass the database name. Here you need to go and pass the database name. Let me pass the database name as batch 8 p.m. What is the database name I'm entering here? Batch 8 p.m. Once after passing the database name, directly go and click on what? OK button. Click on the OK button, guys. When I click on the OK button, just now I created one database. What is the database? Batch 8 p.m. Now where we can see the databases? Go to the database, expand it. When I expand it, now see here I am able to see the database name called batch 8 p.m. This is the database as just now I created. Like this, I want to create two more databases. Let me go and create it. Go to the databases, right click, click on what? New database. Let me pass the database name as sample db. Let me pass the database name as what? Sample db. Now click on OK button. Now see, once if I click on the OK button, automatically the second database is added. I want to create one more. Go to the databases, right click, new database. Let me go and pass the database name as db3. What is the database name? db3, database 3. Just go and click on the OK button. Now see, like this, you can go and create the multiple databases. How many? How many you can go and create? 32767 databases. Now, once after creating these databases, the next thing is what? Among these three databases, you need to go and connect it to any one of the database. Now see, to which database I want to connect here is, I want to connect to the database called batch 8 p.m. guys. I want to connect to this database. Now how to connect to the databases means, go and click on this new query. When I click on this new query, it is going to open one new window guys. It is going to open one new window. It is going to open one window like this. This is the place where you can go and write the queries in the SQL. Now try to understand how to go and connect to the databases with the help of GUI options in today's session guys. Just try to understand for now how to go and connect to this batch 8 p.m. with the help of GUI. I will show you with the help of queries how to connect to the databases in the coming classes. That is tomorrow I will discuss, tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Now see how to connect to this database batch 8 p.m. means, once after clicking on this new query, on the top you are able to see one drop down here guys. Just go and click on this drop down. When I click on this drop down, here you are able to see the database names. What is the database just now we created? Batch 8 p.m. One more is what? DB3. Another one is what? Sample DB. These are the databases we created. And there is few more databases: master, model, msdb and tempdb. All these are called as system defined databases guys. All these are what? System defined. It is not recommended to go and use the system defined databases. Always try to go and create your own databases. So let me go and select the database to which database I want to connect. Go and click on this drop down, and I want to connect to which database? Batch 8 p.m. So select this. Now see, I'm connecting to which database means batch 8 p.m. Now within the database, what I need to go and create? Once after connecting to the databases, what the database will contains? Tables. Now how to create a table in the database? Let me show you how to create a table under this database guys, with the help of GUI options in today's session. Let me show you how to create the table. Now first of all, go to the database. In which database I want to create the table? Batch 8 p.m. Go to this database, expand it, expand the database. Now you are able to see something called tables. Now go to the tables, right click on it, go and click on what? New. What I want to create? New table. Click on the table. Now see, it is asking us to pass the column names. Let me pass the column names case. I want to create the table called employees table. So what columns I'm going to pass here is employee number column. Next, it is asking us to pass the data type. What is this data type? You will understand the tomorrow's class. In the tomorrow's class, 1 hour of time, 1 hour of time, I will discuss about the data types only guys. For now, just try to understand how to create a table. Anyway, in the tomorrow's class, I will discuss about what is this database, what is this data type, when to use it, and what are the different types of data types are available. I'll discuss. Let me go and pass the data type as what? Int. Next, check this box. I don't want to allow the null values. Next, another column. One more column I want to keep here. What is another column is ename. Now what is the data type? I want to keep the data type as varchar of size 50. Next, I want to get one more column. The column name is salary. Data type is what? Money. Next, I want to get one more column. The column name is department number column. Data type is what? Integer. You'll understand guys. What is these data types? You'll understand in the tomorrow's class. 1 hour I will discuss. Don't worry about it. Now, these are the columns I'm going to keep in this table guys. Once after passing the column names, just go and close the session. Go and click on the close. When I close the session, when I try to close the session, now it is asking us to pass the table name. Now just go and click on S button. When I click on the S button, now see, here you need to go and enter the table name guys. What's the name I want to keep here is? I want to keep the table name as employees. Once after pass the table name, go and click on what? OK button. When I click on the OK button, the table is created. Now where we can see the table? Go to the tables, expand it. When I expand, you are able to see the table name here. Now just now I created one table called employees. Now I am having any data in this table? No, I don't have any data. I want to insert some data into this table. Now how to insert the data into this table? With the help of GUI options. Everything I will show you in today's session with the help of GUI guys. Next class I will discuss about by writing some queries. Now how to insert the data into this table means go to the table, right click on it and go and click on edit top 200 rows. Go and click on what? Edit top 200 rows. When I click on it, now it is asking us to enter the data. What is the employee number, name, salary, and then department number. First, let me go and pass the employee number, guys. What is the employee number? Employee number is equals to 101. Let me pass the name. The name is Warner. Let me pass the salary as 12,000. Let me pass the department number as 10. Now, I'm going to insert one employee details here. What is the employee number, name, salary, and then department number. Now I want to insert one more employee's details, guys. Let me go and insert one more employee details. Employee is equals to 102. Name is equals to Smith. Salary equals to 14,000. Under which department the employee is working means he is working in the 20th department. I'm inserting the second employee details. So currently I'm having the two employee details. I'm going to insert into this table. I want to insert one more employee details into this table. Now go and insert one more employee details, guys. Employee is equals to 103. Name is equals to Scott. Salary equals to 16,000 and department number is equals to 30. Like this, we are able to insert the data into this table, guys. By using what? The help of GUI options. Now, once after inserting these three rows, now close this tab. Close this tab. Now see, I'm having one table. Just now I created one table employees. In this table, just now I inserted how many employee details? 3. Now, I need to go and get the data from this table, guys. I want to get the data from this table in the output. Now how to get the data? So let me show you how to get the data from this table with the help of GUI. With the help of GUI options. Go to the tables. Go to the table called employees. Right click on it. And click on what? Select top 1000 rows. When I click on this select top 1000 rows. When I click on this select top 1000 rows. Now I'm able to see the data in this table. These are the columns. Employee number, name, salary, and department number. These are the columns. And this is the data. So like this, within the databases, how to go and create the tables means by using these G options, we are able to create it. The same tables you can go and create with the help of CUI. That means by writing some queries. So as this is the first class, so it is, if I go and directly discuss about the queries, it is somewhat difficult for you to understand. So just to go with the G options first. In the next class, I will show you how to go and create the same table, how to go and insert the data, how to go and get the data, how to go and create the database. Everything I will show you with the help of CUI. That means by writing some queries. So whatever I discussed here, I said that I will show you how to create a server name. I said that how to connect to the servers, and then I said that how to go and create the databases. You know that how to go and create the databases. Once after creating the databases, how to go and connect to one of the database. Once after connecting to the databases, now how to go and create the tables. Once after creating the tables, how to go and insert the data. Once after inserting the data, how to go and get the data in the table output. How to get the data from the tables in the output. So this is all about how to go and install the SQL Server software, how to go and install these two softwares. Once after installation, how to go and create the databases, how to connect to the databases, how to go and create the tables, how to insert the data into the tables, and how to get the data from the tables. Fine. Let me go and stop here. In the next, we'll discuss from here in the next class. In the next class, what we are going to discuss is we directly jump into the course curriculum, guys. So the first topic we are going to discuss here is in the tomorrow's class. If you see in today's session, we discussed about the installation part. SQL Server installation also discussed about SSMS window. And from tomorrow onwards, we will start the actual course curriculum, guys. The first topic we are going to discuss in the tomorrow's class is what? Data types. So in the next class, that is tomorrow, we'll directly jump into the course curriculum. The first topic we are going to discuss here is data types concept. So in the tomorrow's class, we will be understanding what is meant by data types, when to use it, and what is these different types of data types are available in the SQL. We'll be understanding in the tomorrow's class. Fine. Let me go and stop here.